Our response to the Lord. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be. What is your rescue story? Psalms 37, 39 through 40 states that God is a stronghold who helps, rescues, and saves the righteous. The Psalms also describes what the righteous should do and what the God will do for them. David testifies that God saves the righteous and protects them in times of trouble. David saw firsthand that God could rescue his people, just as when he was threatened by and when he was fugitive in the wilderness. My rescue story started when I was a young child, looking for refuge from the high expectations of my life, from my parents, my teachers, my classmates, all of whom had expectations of who I should be and what I should act like. Like many, I was made fun of for everything under the sun, from just being me, with no understanding as a child what I did wrong to do such remarks. But when things got tough, I knew there was always someone who was the opposite of that, someone who would love me no matter what I did or said or acted like. We were a family living off of food stamps in a low-income area. We made sure to give to the church each week, even if that meant that we went without the good stuff, also known as good food. To this family, the church was everything. It was our shelter from physically, emotionally, and mentally. We did not just go to the church on Sunday for one service. We were there in the choirs, the altar service. Father, the leader of the church, because I grew up Catholic, was our best friends. We turned to him no matter what. And we volunteered for all of the events. We were at church more often than the father, who was paid, was there. We were there from 7 a.m. to at least 4 p.m. on Sundays alone, plus all the religious ed classes, activities, and practice we could sign up for. Many times after school, we were dropped off straight at the church. After activities like dance class, the dance teacher would drop me off at the church. There was no need for the parents to come and get us. They knew where we were gonna go to. We ate family dinner there because that's where the family was. We can't forget, on Thursdays was Taco Bell. With my dad in choir practice, which is why I kind of got recruited for music, we were at the church till around 8:30 at night. So we got dropped off, walked to Taco Bell after school, ate Taco Bell with my mom, and then walked the rest of the way to church and stayed at church all night. Then we went home and did homework. But that was our understanding of refuge, that it was just an expectation. You were there no matter what. Jesus died on the cross for you, so whether you were there, whether or not you were dying. I started seeing other ways to escape from the craziness of my life. People started acting like a refuge for me. I started going to camps during the summer. As a city kid, it was my first time seeing the wilderness myself. And boy, oh boy, did it scare me. I did not know what grass was or trees. We were in Metro Detroit area. We didn't have those things. But the counselor started showing me what caring and love should look like without expectations. One of my strangest memories is in this picture here. That's me, and let's just say heights wasn't my friends. I attempted to climb a wall at camp. I slipped while climbing the wall. I would have fell about 10 feet if the rope didn't get stuck on that line. That was before there was digital editing. That's actually like one of the old school cameras. And this picture is something I carry with me everywhere I go, to remind me that there's always something out there rescuing me from the craziness of leading my first service, which I'm rushing through, I know, or the smaller the things of seminary classes, whether or not I pass them. There's always something there, whether I see it or not. When I grew up, I started being a refuge for others. Like the counselors I had at camps, I was there for the next generation, helping them fight their battles, whether they were fearing the dark, homesickness, or everything else that a little kid can face. I was there to be their safe place in the times of fear and to give them confidence when they needed to be brave. I then went to help rescue others as a lifeguard. Even though I couldn't swim the best for myself, I knew in a time of need that a lifeguard truly does act like God and like an angel. They do everything in their power to rescue those, even if at their own risk. While being a camp director and ministry camp for any city youth and a lifeguard instructor on the side, I heard God calling me to do more with my life, to help others in just more than just the momentary time of need, but help them in the life-altering time of need. However, there was a big difference between teaching in the recreation field and preaching. It is more than just the atmosphere. My atmosphere has changed throughout the years. Some of you know I've moved a lot, let's say. From tiny day camps to pools to mega camps of 10,000 plus people, looking at me just like you are now for some kind of insurance, some kind of saying of joy, or something for you to take home to remember. I have done science experiments as sermons for youth, like Ben I, the science guy, would do, relating bubbles from soap relating it to the Holy Spirit, only seen when things get shaken up. I also have done a sermon in a journal entry for adults to understand that their gospel is just as important as the gospel in the Bible. I look at my journal throughout the years to figure out what parts of sermons are different from other services. What have stuck out to me is my moments of refuge kicked in and my times of trouble, and what has kept me going throughout all of this. In the end, I have one question or two for you. What is your rescue story? And has God ever called you to be a refuge for someone else?